Cruising with Christine, and in this vlog I want to talk about getting prepared for a cruise. I have a cruise coming up in 34 days, so I want to talk about what you need to do, what you need to have done or need to get done in the last 30 days before a cruise. And I also want to talk about a few other things, maybe specific to a couple of different cruise lines. So hang on. Okay, so this is kind of like my 30-day checklist. 30 days before a cruise checklist. Now, if you're new to cruising, then you might find this interesting. If you've been on a few cruises, I mean, there could still be some things that I say that you're not aware of or, you know, hadn't thought about. So this might interest you too. But that's kind of who this video is geared towards, is new cruisers or newer cruisers. Newer cruisers. So 30 days out from a cruise. Exciting. I have 34 days till we go on our Disney Dream Cruise. And so specific to Disney cruises, I would say that if you are going on a Disney cruise, one thing that you need to do, and again, this is specific to Disney, is you need to book your brunch or dinner in Palo or your dinner in Remy. You need to do that before you get on the ship. You don't have to. You can wait till you get on the ship, but it's possible that when you get on the ship, you're not going to be able to find a reservation. Now, having said that, what I was going to say was they do sell out online, because I have tried to book the brunch and I was too late and there was nothing available. But I did get it when I got on the ship. So they do hold back a certain amount of reservation space for the brunch and the dinners. So head straight over. If it's important to you to get one of these, head straight over to the venue as soon as you board the ship so that you can try to snag one of those reservations. And be prepared. You might not be able to get your time, but it's worth it. Now, we haven't been to Remy's, but we have been to Palo's many times. And I say many times. We've cruised 6 times. We've gone every time. That's many, right? And we love it. And it's worth it whenever we could get the time. It would be worth it. So I highly recommend you do that. Now, what else do you need to do regarding any cruise line? One thing that you need to do, no matter what cruise line you are cruising on, is you need to have your online check-in done by 30 days out. You should really do it before. And here's the thing. If you wait until 30 days or less to do your online check-in, because some people might think, well, I can do it the night before. Yeah, but here's the thing. You pick your arrival time to the port. Now, I know a lot of people ignore those times. They just take whatever and then they show up whenever they want. But there's a lot of people out there, like me, who is a rule follower. For you rule followers, do your online check-in early, because you get to pick a better arrival time for port. I don't know about you, but I like to arrive early on the ship, because that first day you're paying for a whole day cruising. Yet that ship doesn't leave port until after 5 usually. And I've been on cruise ships that didn't leave port until like 8 or 9 o'clock at night due to whatever. There's always something. So I definitely recommend that you do your online check-in early, get an early port arrival, and get on the ship as early as possible so that you can enjoy that day that you're paying for. So that is a tip. Excuse me. Also, you need to make sure that you are arriving to the port the day before your depart day. It's way too stressful to be traveling on the day of departure. Yeah, no, just take my word on this. You don't want to be traveling, especially by air, but even car. Think about it. You could get a flat tire. You could just break down. You could run out of gas. You could hit traffic. I mean, I have never personally been in hours and hours upon long traffic, but I have heard and I've had friends who have been in traffic jams that they have set for hours. Can you imagine if you leave yourself, even if you live in Florida and you're leaving yourself, you know, it's a 2-hour drive and you leave 3 hours early. What if you end up in a traffic jam that's 4 hours? Go the day before, please. Save yourself the stress. Okay, that's really not a 30-day checklist item, but it's a do it item. It's a need to know item. So, all right, moving on. I will look at my list because I actually have a list this time, you guys. You know, if you watch my channel, you know I am bad about not having lists. I have one. Let's see what else I have on here that is important. You need to check your luggage. I don't even know if I put that on here, but that just popped in my head. Check your luggage just to go. It's 30 days. Well, probably 25 days before you're going to start packing. Go pull your luggage out and check it. Now for us, we just got off a ship in December, so I know our luggage is fine, good to go. But not everybody is using their luggage all the time. So if it's been a while since you pulled it out, take it out, air it out, open it up, see what's in it. What if you left a hunk of cheese from Wisconsin in there? I don't know. Might smell. So open up your luggage, check it out, and make sure it is good to go so you can put all those clean clothes in it. Oh, and speaking of clean clothes, that's another thing. I highly recommend that you pull out your cruise clothes. Okay, your summer clothes if you don't have cruise clothes. But pull that stuff out because, you know, I don't know about you, but my waist can get a little thick sometimes. And I need to know, do I need to buy any shorts? Do I need to, you know, what do I need to do? Do my clothes still fit? What if you've lost a bunch of weight? That could be a thing. Not for me, but that could be a thing. So you need to check your clothes and get them out because you're going to have to, more than likely, throw them in the wash, you know, and give them a nice wash before you pack. So yes, check your clothes. What else do we have? Check in. Luggage tags. Make sure you print your luggage tags. Not all cruise lines will mail you luggage tags, but if you do want some luggage tags, you know, like official ones, plastic ones, whatever, from the cruise line, call the cruise line and ask and see if they have some that they can mail to you. Some cruise lines do have a luggage tag program. You can call a couple weeks before and they will mail them out to you. But when you do your online check-in, there are luggage tags in there and they will print out, and then you just follow the instructions to make them, put them on your luggage and staple them, glue them, whatever. I always staple ours and I've never had one fall off. So get your luggage tags, get your luggage, get your luggage tags, make sure you've got that stuff. Your passports. Okay, here's the thing. 30 days out is probably too late to do anything about an expired passport. Ask me why I know. Because ours expired January 9th. And I didn't get them renewed. So I went down and got our pictures. But then I realized that I just don't have enough time unless I pay expedited to make sure I get them. So I'm just going to take care of it when we get back from our cruise. But that's, you need to check your passports. Check your passports, see if they expired. If you don't have passports, make sure you have your birth certificate. If you're going on a closed loop, meaning you leave from Port Canaveral, for example, and you come back to Port Canaveral, as long as it's a closed loop like that, then cruise, then you can use a birth certificate. It has to be an official copy or the original. Official copy, that doesn't mean that you stick, that that your mom took your original in Nebraska and put it in the printer and made a copy and sent it to you. No, it has to be official. That's not official. That's mom official, but it's not government official. So make sure it's a government official copy or the original, and you can cruise with that as well as a driver's license or an ID from the States. So that will work just fine. That's what we're going to do this time. I have cruised 2 previous cruises in the very beginning. Actually, no, you know what? No, I'm right. Our first 2 cruises were with birth certificates and driver's license. And it's fine, nothing wrong with it. The only problem is that if something were to happen when you were out there, if you're in Key West, no big deal. But if you're in the Bahamas, or you're in the Virgin Islands, or you're in Mexico and something happens and you need to evacuate on a plane, you are in trouble. Or if you miss the ship and you're going to have to get on a plane to meet them or get home, you can't get on with a birth certificate and get back into the United States. So you're going to have to go, and you can do it online if you have your computer, and you can find where the consulate is or the embassy or whatever, and it'll take a couple of days, and then you can get home. But you're going to have to be responsible for hotels and food and all of that while you're waiting to get on the plane. So make sure your birth certificate is original or official copy. Make sure that you have a passport, a valid passport. Oh, a little tip too. If you're going out of the country, you're going to want to check with the other country that you're going to. The best thing to do is what I didn't do. Renew your passports 8 months, 9 months before they're due to expire, because they're good for 10 years. I was really bad. This is our first time having passports, so this is my first time renewing, and I was bad. I should have renewed them a year ago, and I didn't. So here I am, having to use our birth certificates. At least I have those. So what I was going to say, though, got off a little there, a little tangent, is, what was I going to say? What was I going to say? Oh, I know what I was going to say. What I was going to say is that when you're visiting a international country with a passport, it needs to be good for usually 6 months beyond the date that you're returning. Okay, so you're moving on. What else do we have? Book your excursions. At the very least, if you're not going to book your excursions ahead of time, by now, 30 days out, you should have looked online and really explored the ports you're going to and have a really good idea of what you want to do. Even if what you want to do is just stay on the ship and lay in the hot tub. That's fine, but you should know. You should have an idea of what's happening before you are getting on that ship. What ports you're going to, what kind of excursions you might be interested in. I don't recommend that you wait to get on the ship to buy your excursions unless you just are completely conflicted and you want to talk to somebody and really get a little more detail. And then that's fine. Although I do suggest to avoid the crazy lines, and guys, the lines can be insane on a cruise ship on the first day and the last day and sometimes the night before you port. It's hard to say when it's going to be crazy, but it gets crazy and you could be standing in line forever. So it really, really, really is a good bit of advice to tell you to book your excursions beforehand. If you're the kind of person that needs more information before you can book an excursion to a country or a port you've never been to, then go to cruisecritic.com and read about the excursions. There's so much information on Cruise Critic. So much information. You can get a ton of information, and I think you could probably get enough information, do enough research that you feel comfortable booking your excursions. So I highly recommend that you have them booked before getting on the ship, just to save yourself the insanity of standing in those lines. Let's see, electronics. Check your electronics. Check your batteries. Make sure you have all of that. You don't want to, the night before you're getting ready to leave, pull out your electronics and find out that you don't have a cord to one and now you can't buy it, and what are you going to do? So just take it all out, whatever you're taking, cameras, video cameras, whatever it is, computers. Make sure you have all your batteries and all your cords. Don't wait till the last minute. Look, I'm just trying to save you some frustration here. Specialty dining. Do your specialty dining reservations before you get on board. Again, it's for what I said. If you are particular about what time you eat, then do them online before you get on the ship so that you can get your preferred time, because it does get more difficult as time goes on. On the mega ships, you usually have to. If you walk on the ship and you have not booked, and they even make you book your main dining. So if you haven't booked those things, and let me back up a little bit. Main dining, I mean, we all know we get earlier or later dining. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the freestyle, the anytime dining. The big mega ships have you pick times even for that. I don't know why it's called anytime dining. Well, yeah, no, I do, because you don't have to go during that slot for early or that slot for late. You can pick a time, and they go quick. So I highly suggest, if you're on a mega ship, that you investigate booking your dinner for every night and your shows. That's something you can do on the mega ships. On the smaller ships, no, you don't do any of that. And I should say the smaller, older ships, you don't do that. So yeah, but specialty dining, definitely make your reservations. If that's important to you, you're going to want to do that. So it seemed like there was something else I wanted to talk about, and I didn't put it down here. I thought of it as I just read specialty dining, and now I can't remember. That's a lot of information, though. I think I'm going to do a video addition to this series next week. And I think I'm going to give you some tips on like adult areas that you can go to on different cruise lines, hidden things, whether it's a hidden deck or a club or something that most people aren't aware of. Oh, I think I'm gonna do that. Would that interest you? I mean, I know it would interest me if I wasn't aware of these things. So I think I'm going to put together a list and come back in a few days and do a video on that. So stay tuned for that. Look for it. If you have any particular things that you want to know about, like a particular cruise line, just let me know. And if I have cruised on that line and I know the answer, I would be happy to share that information. And even if I haven't cruised on the line, there's a good chance that I know some of the answers. I don't want to say I know everything, because I don't. But there's a good chance I've done research on whatever it is you might want to know. So, you know, like if you booked concierge, is there a special private lunch on the first day? Is there? I also want to talk to you in a future video about Faster to the Fun, because there's a lot of misinformation out there about Faster to the Fun. Do I like it or do I not? That's not what all the misinformation is about. I'm just saying, do I or don't I? I will let you know. So if any of this stuff interests you, then you can subscribe and click that little bell, and you'll be notified when I do upload these videos. If not, that's okay. Maybe we'll see each other around. And until the next vlog, happy sails, you know, like happy trails, happy sails. Bye.